Marketing is not about posting pretty pictures or shouting louder than the competition. It's about mastering perception, positioning, and persuasion. It's the ability to make people feel like you created your product just for them. Marketing is the conversation your business has with the world before a single sale is made. It is the magnet that draws your ideal customers to your offer with such clarity and confidence that price becomes secondary and trust becomes everything. If selling is closing the deal, marketing is opening the door. Too many entrepreneurs think marketing is optional, something you do once business picks up. But the truth is, marketing * creates * the momentum you're waiting for. It's not a side activity. It's the front line of growth. When done right, marketing doesn't feel like marketing. It feels like understanding. It speaks directly to the heart of your audience's desires, pains, fears, and goals. It tells them, we see you, we get you, and we can help you. That level of resonance can only come when you know your audience better than they know themselves. The first foundation of powerful marketing is clarity. If you confuse, you lose. People don't respond to vague messages or generic claims. They respond to precision. What problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? What transformation do you offer? The more specific your answer, the stronger your message. When you nail your niche and sharpen your message, you stand out in a saturated market. You no longer compete on price. You compete on power, purpose, and precision. Marketing is also about storytelling. Facts tell, but stories sell. People don't remember data. They remember narratives. Your brand must tell a story that your audience sees themselves in. It's not about how great your product is. It's about how great their life becomes because of it. The hero of your marketing is not your brand, it's your customer. You are the guide. When you position yourself as the one who understands their journey, provides the roadmap, and celebrates their transformation, you build connection, and connection converts. Visibility is a key element that many business owners ignore. You can't make an impact if no one knows you exist. Marketing puts you in the room, on the screen, and in the mind of the people you are called to serve. It builds awareness, and awareness builds demand. The more people see you, the more they trust you. And the more they trust you, the more they buy from you. Frequency breeds familiarity, and familiarity builds confidence. You become a name they recognize and a voice they trust. Positioning is the next level. It's not just being seen, it's being seen as the solution. You can have the same product as 10 other people, but the way you position it makes all the difference. Are you a commodity, or are you a category leader? Are you the cheapest, or are you the most valuable? Positioning is about perception. It's how you shape the way your audience views your offer. When done right, people will believe there's no one else who can solve their problem quite like you. Marketing also involves psychology. It's about understanding why people buy and aligning your message with those internal drivers. People don't make decisions based purely on logic. They make them based on emotion, then justify them with logic. Great marketing taps into that emotion. It shows people what's possible. It paints a picture of a better reality. It awakens desire, urgency, and belief. When you speak to what people feel and show them what they could be, you bypass resistance and inspire response. Consistency in marketing creates momentum. You can't show up once and expect the world to notice. The market responds to those who are present, persistent, and powerful. Your content, your voice, your brand, it must show up regularly and remain consistent in message and tone. Consistency breeds credibility, and in the marketplace, Credibility is currency. It makes you the go-to, not the afterthought. It turns one-time buyers into lifelong believers. Adaptability in marketing is also crucial. The market evolves, and so must your message. What worked last year might not work today. A successful marketer listens more than they speak. They watch trends, study engagement, test ideas, and refine constantly. They don't fall in love with tactics, they fall in love with outcomes. They ask better questions, analyze feedback, and adjust with precision. Marketing is a living conversation with the marketplace, and those who stay in tune will always lead. Marketing isn't a department, it's the engine of business. It touches everything: your product design, your customer experience, your messaging, your branding. It's not something you do, it's something you become. Your marketing is a mirror of your value. If it's weak, it's because clarity is missing. If it's strong, it's because purpose is present. Marketing isn't manipulation, it's alignment. It's the bridge that connects your brilliance to the people who need it most. Now it's your turn, no more waiting, no more wishing. You already have what it takes. Now it's time to develop the skills to match your destiny. Sell with confidence, lead with purpose, execute with power, think like a strategist, move like a millionaire. Because the market doesn't care who you are. It responds to who you become. So stand up, skill up, and show the world what happens when purpose meets mastery. Selling is the heartbeat of any successful business. And yet, it's one of the most misunderstood skills in the marketplace. Most people see selling as manipulation, pressure, or persuasion tactics, designed to trick someone into saying yes. But real selling, transformational selling, is not about pushing people into a decision. It's about helping people make a decision they already desire. But they need someone bold enough to lead them to it. Selling is a spiritual transfer of certainty. It's belief, conviction, and confidence moving from one soul to another. If you truly believe in the solution you're offering, your job is not to sell, it's to serve. But that service must come with a voice of power. People are bombarded with information every day. They don't need more data, they need direction. When you sell, you are not just exchanging a product for money. You are exchanging your certainty for someone's uncertainty. You are offering transformation wrapped in communication. You are handing someone a bridge to the life they want, but can't yet see clearly. What's tragic is how many people have gold in their hands, but hesitate to offer it because they fear rejection. Let me make this clear. Rejection is not a reflection of your value. It's just redirection. Your job is not to please everyone. Your job is to boldly present value and let alignment do the rest. You cannot let people's indecision or doubt weaken your confidence. Their uncertainty is the very reason they need your boldness. When you stand firm in belief, you become a lighthouse for those lost in confusion. Most business owners don't have a sales problem, they have a belief problem. They're trying to sell something they haven't fully bought into themselves. If you're not 100% sold on your offer, your audience will feel it. People don't follow words, they follow energy. When you're fully convinced, your posture shifts, your tone changes, your presence demands attention. People lean in, not because of your script, but because of your spirit. Selling also requires deep empathy. It's not about what you want to say, it's about what they need to hear. You must know your customers' pain, their hopes, their fears, their frustrations. When you can speak to the conversation already happening in their mind, they feel seen. They feel understood. And when people feel seen, they open up. Selling becomes a conversation of connection, not persuasion. You're not trying to convince them to do something for you. You're helping them do something powerful for themselves. Your product or service is the vehicle, but your belief is the fuel. Many people think the right script will close the sale, but the truth is, belief closes the sale. When belief drips from your voice, your eyes, your gestures, people respond to that. They want to follow someone who's certain. They want to feel safe in your confidence. They want to be led. And when you understand that, you'll stop worrying about being perfect and start focusing on being present. Some of the wealthiest people in the world didn't get there because they had the best product. They got there because they knew how to sell what they had with passion, with clarity, and with resilience. They understood that money flows to the communicator who can simplify the complex, elevate the value, and close the gap between where someone is and where they want to be. Every sale is a step toward impact. Every conversation is a door, and it's your job to knock boldly. Too often, people avoid selling because they don't want to come off as salesy. But that mindset is rooted in fear. True selling isn't annoying, it's an act of leadership. When you present a solution with boldness and love, you're guiding someone out of struggle and into transformation. That is sacred work. And if you can stop making it about you and start making it about them, you'll find that selling becomes natural, fluid, and even joyful. Selling is also a skill you sharpen through repetition, not just education. You can't read your way into confidence. You must practice. You must face objections, overcome hesitation, and learn to respond with strength and certainty. Every no you face makes you stronger. Every unanswered call sharpens your tone. Every failed pitch fine-tunes your message. Selling is not a moment, it's a mastery, and mastery requires motion. You don't get paid for what you know. You get paid for what you can communicate clearly and confidently. Your value must be communicated before it can be compensated. You must learn how to speak with precision, listen with purpose, and respond with power. You must become fluent in the language of belief, value, and transformation. Because in business, money doesn't follow the loudest voice, it follows the most convicted one. Strategic thinking is the skill that separates the average from the exceptional. It's the ability to see beyond what's happening and understand why it's happening. While most people get caught up in the surface problems, the strategic thinker digs beneath the noise to find patterns, opportunities, and leverage. This kind of thinking doesn't just respond, it anticipates. It's proactive, not reactive. It's the mindset of a general in the battlefield, not a foot soldier following commands. Strategy isn't a luxury in business, it's the backbone of sustainable success. Most people are busy working in their business, while strategic thinkers work on their business. They understand that effort without direction is wasted. They don't just hustle blindly, they move with purpose. A strategic thinker can take the same resources, same team, same time, and produce 10 times the results, simply because their decisions are sharper. They ask questions others don't. They see angles others miss. They don't let urgency distract them from importance. They build plans that solve today's problems while preparing for tomorrow's possibilities. Strategic thinking starts with clarity. You cannot create a powerful strategy if you don't know where you're going. Strategic thinkers define the outcome first, then reverse engineer the path to get there. They don't confuse motion with progress. They know the difference between being busy and being effective. Every action is intentional. Every move is calculated. They don't let emotions make decisions. They let vision guide direction. They move with discipline, not desperation. In business, problems are inevitable, but they're not fatal when you have strategy. The strategic mind sees problems as signals, not setbacks. Every obstacle becomes an invitation to innovate. When others see a closed door, the strategist sees a blueprint for a new one. Strategy transforms resistance into refinement. It's not about avoiding problems. It's about approaching them with a framework that turns chaos into clarity. It's about solving one issue in a way that eliminates 5 more down the road. Strategic thinkers are not reactive to trends. They are creators of them. They study the market not to copy, but to position. They don't follow the crowd. They move where the crowd will be. While others compete, they differentiate. While others discount, they add value. Strategy is how you dominate without lowering your price. It's how you build a brand people choose, even when cheaper options exist. It's how you stay relevant in a world that constantly shifts. One of the most powerful traits of a strategic thinker is patience. They don't chase quick wins at the expense of long-term value. They understand that some seeds take time to grow, but once they do, the harvest is massive. Strategy is about delayed gratification, investing today in moves that will compound tomorrow. It's about building systems that create results even when you're not working. It's the difference between a one-time hustle and a long-term empire. Strategic thinkers also surround themselves with the right voices. They don't let ego block insight. They welcome input, study patterns, and analyze results. They measure everything because they understand that what gets measured gets improved. They test, tweak, and pivot when needed, but never lose sight of the bigger vision. Strategy is flexible in execution, but firm in destination. It bends, but it doesn't break. It adapts, but it doesn't abandon. In leadership, strategic thinking multiplies your influence. It allows you to lead your team with clarity, because your direction is grounded in structure, not guesswork. People follow leaders who know where they're going. When your decisions are rooted in strategy, you inspire confidence. You don't just say, "Trust me." You show them why. You become a visionary, not just a manager. And vision backed by strategy is a force no challenge can withstand. In growth, strategy determines scalability. Anyone can start, but without strategy, they stall. Strategic thinkers build systems, automation, and repeatable processes that turn effort into efficiency. They don't just rely on talent, they build structure. That structure allows their business to grow without breaking. It allows revenue to increase without chaos increasing with it. Strategy is how you move from side hustle to sustainable business and from business to movement. Strategic thinking also fuels innovation. It doesn't wait for perfect conditions. It creates them. It asks, what would have to be true for this to work? And then begins building that reality. It challenges assumptions, questions limits, and redefines possibilities. It's not about doing more, it's about doing smarter. With strategy, your business stops being driven by circumstances and starts being driven by design. It becomes intentional, powerful, and aligned with a vision that stretches far beyond your current reality. Leadership is not about having a title or sitting at the head of a table. It's about setting the temperature for everyone in the room. It's about presence, not position. Real leadership begins when a person takes responsibility for outcomes, not just actions. You don't need permission to lead. You need clarity, courage, and conviction. In business, leadership is the engine that drives vision into reality. Without it, organizations drift. With it, even average teams can accomplish extraordinary outcomes. A leader is someone who sees further, feels deeper, and acts faster. They have the ability to anticipate challenges and prepare people for them. They're not just reacting to what's happening, they're shaping what's next. Leadership is foresight in motion. It's the decision to carry the weight of a vision even when no one else sees it yet. It's showing up with strength when others feel uncertain, and offering hope when others lean toward hesitation. True leaders are culture carriers. They don't just speak values. They live them. Every day, their behavior becomes a signal to the team. Their tone, attitude, and actions send messages far louder than any training manual ever could. A leader's energy sets the emotional standard for the environment. If the leader is grounded, the team is stable. If the leader is chaotic, the team is anxious. If the leader is focused, the team sharpens. People reflect what they see, not just what they're told. Leadership also means making tough calls when it's unpopular. A real leader doesn't wait for consensus, they create clarity. They understand that people are looking for direction, not just agreement. They lead from the front, not the sidelines. They step into difficult conversations, set high standards, and hold people and themselves accountable to them. They don't avoid conflict. They manage it with wisdom and grace. Growth requires tension, and leadership learns how to use that tension for transformation. A great leader invests in people, not just profits. They see talent where others see limitations. They develop others, not by micromanaging, but by empowering. They don't compete with their team. They build their team. They understand that multiplication only happens when more leaders are raised, not more followers recruited. Influence expands when people are released to operate in their gifts. A true leader is not intimidated by strong team members. They cultivate them. Leadership is also about emotional mastery. It's being the calm in the storm, not the source of it. It's the ability to stay composed when others panic, to listen when others shout, and to respond when others react. Leaders must carry emotional strength that stabilizes an organization. Emotional outbursts destroy trust, while emotional intelligence builds it. The way a leader handles stress, criticism, and pressure directly influences the health and productivity of the team. The most effective leaders are not the loudest, they are the clearest. They communicate vision with such simplicity and passion that others can't help but follow. Their words ignite action. Their messages are not vague, they are vivid. They speak to the heart, not just the head. A leader's ability to communicate purpose, direction, and urgency is what mobilizes movement. Teams don't move because of rules, they move because of reasons. And leaders are the ones who give those reasons voice. Leadership requires consistency. It's not about who you are once. It's about who you are repeatedly. Consistency builds credibility. People trust what's predictable. A leader who shifts with the wind causes confusion. But a leader who shows up, stays focused, and holds the line even when it's hard, gains loyalty. That consistency builds a foundation strong enough to carry vision through storms, setbacks, and seasons of uncertainty. Leadership is not about being perfect, it's about being responsible. Great leaders own the outcome, even when others drop the ball. They take the hit so the team can stay focused. They deflect praise and absorb blame. That kind of selflessness builds loyalty and strength into the team. People follow leaders who fight for them. They give their best for leaders who lead with integrity, humility, and authenticity. Leadership is earned daily by how you show up when it's inconvenient. Ultimately, leadership is about movement. A leader creates progress. They don't just talk about change, they initiate it. They make decisions, create alignment, and push the mission forward. They don't let excuses become culture. They build momentum with vision, fuel it with accountability, and sustain it through discipline. A team without leadership stalls, but a team with leadership grows in clarity, unity, and power. And in business, everything rises or falls on leadership. Financial literacy is one of the most ignored, yet most powerful business skills that separate those who struggle from those who succeed. It's not about knowing how to count money. It's about understanding how money moves, grows, and multiplies. A business owner who doesn't understand financial principles is building on shaky ground. They may generate income, but they won't know how to keep it, allocate it, or multiply it. Financial illiteracy is the silent destroyer of dreams, because you cannot dominate in what you do not understand. Understanding financial statements is foundational. The profit and loss statement, the balance sheet, the cash flow statement, these aren't just documents for accountants. They are the scoreboard of your business. If you can't read the numbers, you can't lead the business. Every number tells a story. Every figure is a signal. And when you become fluent in the language of numbers, you gain the power to diagnose problems, forecast growth, and protect your profitability. Many entrepreneurs fall into the trap of focusing only on revenue. They celebrate income without understanding margin. A business can generate millions in revenue and still be bleeding on the inside. Financially literate leaders don't just ask, "How much did we make?" They ask, "How much did we keep?" They don't chase sales, they protect profit. They don't grow recklessly, they grow wisely. Financial discipline becomes their protection, and financial clarity becomes their compass. Cash flow is another critical area that separates amateurs from professionals. Profit on paper means nothing if there's no money in the bank. Understanding the timing of income and expenses, managing receivables and payables, and forecasting cash flow are essential skills. Businesses don't fail because they're unprofitable, they fail because they run out of cash. Cash is the oxygen of business, and if you don't monitor it closely, your growth can suffocate you. Financial literacy also includes understanding leverage. Debt is not evil, it's a tool, but tools must be used with wisdom. The financially literate entrepreneur knows when to borrow, how much to borrow, and how to structure repayment in a way that serves the business, not suffocates it. They understand interest, amortization, and the true cost of capital. They never let emotions make financial decisions. They rely on data, logic, and long-term vision. Taxes are another area where financial literacy pays dividends. It's not just about paying taxes. It's about planning for them. The tax code is not written to punish entrepreneurs. It's written to reward those who create value, jobs, and growth. The financially educated business owner studies tax strategy, works with professionals, and structures their business in a way that maximizes legal benefits. They don't fear the IRS. They respect the rules and use them wisely. Investing is also a major part of financial literacy. Keeping money in a checking account won't make you wealthy. The goal isn't just to save, it's to grow. A financially literate entrepreneur knows where to put their money so it works harder than they do. Whether it's reinvesting into the business, buying assets, or creating passive income streams, they think beyond the moment. They understand the power of compound interest, capital appreciation, and smart asset allocation. Budgeting and forecasting are not just corporate activities, they're leadership tools. A business owner who can create a financial forecast gains confidence and direction. Budgets provide structure. Forecasts provide insight. When you track expenses, plan investments, and project growth, you eliminate the guesswork. You no longer hope things will work, you no asterisk, what needs to happen to reach your financial goals. It puts you in control, not at the mercy of circumstances. Financial literacy also empowers you to make better hiring, pricing, and marketing decisions. If you understand your numbers, you can calculate customer acquisition cost, lifetime value, and return on investment. You stop making emotional decisions and start making intelligent ones. You know what to scale, what to cut, and when to pivot. You become the kind of leader investors trust, banks support, and partners respect, because you don't just have vision, you have financial clarity to back it up. When you master financial literacy, your business stops being a hustle and starts becoming a system. You move from surviving to scaling. You stop chasing money and start directing it. Every dollar has an assignment. Every expense has a reason. Every investment has a strategy. You become a steward of resources, not a slave to them. You rise above financial fear because you've replaced confusion with control. And in business, that control is the difference between a temporary high and lasting wealth. Marketing is not about posting pretty pictures or shouting louder than the competition. It's about mastering perception, positioning, and persuasion. It's the ability to make people feel like you created your product just for them. Marketing is the conversation your business has with the world before a single sale is made. It is the magnet that draws your ideal customers to your offer with such clarity and confidence that price becomes secondary and trust becomes everything. If selling is closing the deal, marketing is opening the door. Too many entrepreneurs think marketing is optional, something you do once business picks up. But the truth is, marketing asterisk creates asterisk the momentum you're waiting for. It's not a side activity. It's the front line of growth. When done right, marketing doesn't feel like marketing. It feels like understanding. It speaks directly to the heart of your audience's desires, pains, fears, and goals. It tells them we see you, we get you, and we can help you. That level of resonance can only come when you know your audience better than they know themselves. The first foundation of powerful marketing is clarity. If you confuse, you lose. People don't respond to vague messages or generic claims. They respond to precision. What problem do you solve? Who do you solve it for? What transformation do you offer? The more specific your answer, the stronger your message. When you nail your niche and sharpen your message, you stand out in a saturated market. You no longer compete on price. You compete on power, purpose, and precision. Marketing is also about storytelling. Facts tell, but stories sell. People don't remember data. They remember narratives. Your brand must tell a story that your audience sees themselves in. It's not about how great your product is. It's about how great their life becomes because of it. The hero of your marketing is not your brand. It's your customer. You are the guide. When you position yourself as the one who understands their journey, provides the roadmap, and celebrates their transformation, you build connection. And connection converts. Visibility is a key element that many business owners ignore. You can't make an impact if no one knows you exist. Marketing puts you in the room, on the screen, and in the mind of the people you are called to serve. It builds awareness, and awareness builds demand. The more people see you, the more they trust you. And the more they trust you, the more they buy from you. Frequency breeds familiarity, and familiarity builds confidence. You become a name they recognize and a voice they trust. Positioning is the next level. It's not just being seen. It's being seen as the solution. You can have the same product as 10 other people, but the way you position it makes all the difference. Are you a commodity or are you a category leader? Are you the cheapest or are you the most valuable? Positioning is about perception. It's how you shape the way your audience views your offer. When done right, People will believe there's no one else who can solve their problem quite like you. Marketing also involves psychology. It's about understanding why people buy and aligning your message with those internal drivers. People don't make decisions based purely on logic. They make them based on emotion, then justify them with logic. Great marketing taps into that emotion. It shows people what's possible. It paints a picture of a better reality. It awakens desire, urgency, and belief. When you speak to what people feel and show them what they could be, you bypass resistance and inspire response. Consistency in marketing creates momentum. You can't show up once and expect the world to notice. The market responds to those who are present, persistent, and powerful. Your content, your voice, your brand, it must show up regularly and remain consistent in message and tone. Consistency breeds credibility, and in the marketplace, credibility is currency. It makes you the go-to, not the afterthought. It turns one-time buyers into lifelong believers. Adaptability in marketing is also crucial. The market evolves, and so must your message. What worked last year might not work today. A successful marketer listens more than they speak. They watch trends, study engagement, test ideas, and refine constantly. They don't fall in love with tactics, they fall in love with outcomes. They ask better questions, analyze feedback, and adjust with precision. Marketing is a living conversation with the marketplace, and those who stay in tune will always lead. Marketing isn't a department, it's the engine of business. It touches everything: your product design, your customer experience, your messaging, your branding. It's not something you do, it's something you become. Your marketing is a mirror of your value. If it's weak, it's because clarity is missing. If it's strong, it's because purpose is present. Marketing isn't manipulation, it's alignment. It's the bridge that connects your brilliance to the people who need it most. Execution is the dividing line between dreamers and doers. Ideas are everywhere, on notepads, in conversations, in vision boards. But very few people ever see those ideas come to life because they hesitate to act. The marketplace does not reward intention, it rewards implementation. You can have the most brilliant plan in the world, but if you never put it in motion, it has zero value. Execution turns invisible thoughts into visible outcomes. It turns goals into results. Without execution, success is just a theory, never a reality. One of the biggest traps people fall into is overplanning. They get addicted to preparation, addicted to research, addicted to perfection. But perfection is a liar. It whispers that things have to be flawless before they're launched, and so nothing ever gets launched. Execution doesn't wait for ideal conditions. It creates momentum in the middle of imperfection. The most successful entrepreneurs don't wait until they know everything. They take the first step, then adjust as they go. They learn in motion, not in hesitation. Discipline is the foundation of consistent execution. It's doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's choosing progress over comfort. The people who win in business are not the ones with the most motivation. They're the ones with the most consistency. Execution is not a one-time push. It's the daily grind of showing up, delivering, and moving forward, even when the results are not instant. Success compounds, but only when action compounds. Clarity fuels execution. You cannot move fast on what you're unclear about. That's why execution begins with defining clear outcomes. What exactly needs to be done? What does success look like? What's the next step, not the next 10? People often delay action because the goal feels too big. But when you break it into focused, small steps, you create movement. And movement creates momentum. Once you take action, clarity increases. You start to see what works and what doesn't. Fear is the silent killer of execution. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of wasting time, it paralyzes people. But fear loses its grip when action begins. Every time you take a step forward, you take a step away from fear. Execution is courage in motion. It's choosing to move forward even when you feel uncertain. It's trusting that growth will meet you on the other side of the uncomfortable. The people who execute aren't fearless. They're just unwilling to be ruled by fear. Execution also demands focus. You cannot execute powerfully if you're distracted constantly. Focus is the ability to direct your energy, time, and attention toward what matters most. It's saying no to everything that does not align with your highest goals. The world is full of noise, but execution requires you to silence distractions and lock in on results. Focused energy is powerful energy. When you concentrate your actions on one clear objective, your impact multiplies. Speed matters in execution. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes to move. Ideas have a shelf life. Opportunities expire. Execution is about acting while the window is still open. It's not reckless speed, it's responsive speed. It's deciding quickly, moving quickly, and learning quickly. Those who execute with urgency gain an edge because they're not sitting on potential. They're activating it. Delay kills dreams, but speed breathes life into them. Accountability strengthens execution. When no one knows your goals, it's easy to slack off. But when you create systems of accountability, mentors, metrics, team check-ins, you create pressure that drives performance. High performers don't shy away from accountability, they seek it. Execution is not about doing it all alone. It's about creating structures that keep you moving forward even on tough days. Accountability makes discipline sustainable and results consistent. Execution is also about evaluation. Taking action is step one, but learning from that action is just as important. You must review your outcomes, what worked, what didn't, what needs to change. Execution without reflection is movement without direction. The best executors take time to analyze and improve. They don't take failure personally, they treat it as data. Every setback becomes insight. Every win becomes a repeatable model. Execution evolves through feedback. There is no success without execution. No vision, no strategy, no amount of motivation can replace the power of action. Execution is the muscle that makes your mission strong. It's the proof of belief, the demonstration of commitment, and the doorway to results. While others are still talking about what they're going to do, executors are already building, already moving, already growing. They don't wait for perfect. They work with what they have and build something powerful in the process.